Welcome to the Bright Ideas Podcast.
Tick in the box for Instagram Lives. What were some of the other things you mentioned as well? Content in general. What were some of the other bits of content marketing that you've tried and had some success with? And also maybe if you had any learning opportunities or failures, if you'd like to call them that.
Yeah, I think I will lean into email marketing. We did share quite a lot through those channels on content, but what did not work is a long content. I mean, if you get an email, you probably want to read through it quickly. We're not a discount brand, so we didn't send out every week new offers. So there was a different strategy. We more tried to keep it easy with learning some stuff of the ingredients. And in the beginning, I would say our mistake was to make that content too long. It's just not, we didn't have a high open rate and didn't get much revenue out of it. And when we changed to having it really like in digestible pieces, like short content, just maybe focus on one ingredient and one problem, we saw a much better opening rate and click-through rate. So
you're trying to educate your target audience. You've got 5 things that you want to educate them on, sending them all in one email. That was a fail. Sending 5 emails that cover each one of those things sequentially was a success. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Exactly.
In terms of blogging or guest posting or any of the other of the many forms of content marketing that are available to marketers today, did you try anything else?
We do have blog content that we update every week. We started that probably late last year. That is inbuilt in our new website. There was another thing that we built a whole new website. So that website has a lot of content itself. So when you navigate through that, we put a lot of effort in building those nice graphics and even animations to understand our whole health approach for dogs. And I also want to mention that it probably wouldn't work for every brand because not every brand needs to educate their audience. Like our specific supplement is in a space where people have been told for years, these are the ingredients you should use. And now we're coming with something different. That's why we're saying we need to educate and build that trust because it's just that segment. If you sell something different that doesn't need this, maybe that strategy won't work for you. So it really depends on the product, how you look at it.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's talk a little bit about your advertising before we finish up. So what'd you spend on advertising in the last year, do you think?
As I said, we didn't get any funding, so we were super bootstrapped. I would say like $35,000.
Still $35,000 is a good chunk of money when it's coming out of your own piggy bank.
Sure.
Did ads, so you got started. Now, had you had previous advertising experience in the consumer space or was this all new for you?
That strategy was quite new in that product. I was in a consumer space in a total different category before, which wouldn't need that much advertising online. So the paid media and that channel, and also due to the last year, we really pushed more into the online DTC, which was new for me.
Okay. And you were using these ads to predominantly drive traffic to what? The product list, to the website?
And to the product itself, yes.
And did you test running ads to content that talked about the product versus running ads directly to the product detail page?
Yes, we also built landing pages with different content to try out. And every time it works best if you have a short educational part about it and then a call to action button. I believe it has to be super easy for the customer to actually engage and buy. So that's important.
And which call to actions have thus far proved to be the most effective?
I think in the ads, just landing on our product page on the new website, because it's really short, easy, understandable, kind of like Amazon. That's another Amazon is the easiest to convert any customer because it's just built that way.
Indeed. In your ads, if I saw one of your ads and I'm clicking through the landing page and I'm going to click the call to action, which I'm assuming is add to cart, are you testing any upsells? For example, you bought one of these things. Would you like to buy 5 more if we give you 20% off? Or would you like to buy this other thing that's related to the first thing? Or are you simply going for the first order?
We do have some upsells in terms of avoiding shipping costs, like treats.
Yeah.
Not really our product and not really with a discount code, but we do have that upsell function that we add certain products or recommend products to the one they already added. So
Okay.
if you have a senior dog, we might recommend the chew sticks that already have collagen in them as a beneficial treat, versus a puppy, we might just recommend some salmon treats, pure for their protein and for the skin.
Do you happen to know off the top of your head the impact on your average order value and your return on ad spend as a result of doing those upsells?
We do have raised our average order value on about 30% during the last year with implementing those strategies and adding those treats or add-ons that we call them. So that was positive. In the return of ad spend, as we had no funding, we were very conservative that we need to always be over a 2 times or 3 times return on ad spend.
Okay. And what platform are you focused predominantly on? One platform like Facebook or Instagram or Google, or are you kind of spreading the money around across all of them?
We actually tried several. We focusing mainly on Facebook and Google and Amazon. But we also tried out new ways like Nextdoor, Pinterest. And I believe, especially on Pinterest, it's more brand building that we saw, not so much conversion to sales, which might come later. Nextdoor had great results in the beginning. It's a little difficult to track, but we still experiencing some good returns there.
Okay. And did you hire a contractor or an agency to run the ads and create the campaigns for you? Or did you just do it yourself?
We engaged an agency last year, April, and changed in fall last year as well. So we had 2 different agencies now with the second one, just because we needed to scale. So we had an agency outsourced, as we have a very lean team. So we had some help with advisors that are in the marketing space, and they could manage those agencies. And we were able to really structure all these briefs for ads. And we have a great brand guidelines. I think that's very important to also know that you should really be aware of what ads you're putting out there. Is that your brand? Is this the voice of your brand? That was important to us. So we actually created brand guidelines to share with our agency. Okay. And you have a lot of experience in an agency because it's not just one person.
So let's sum up with this. If you were sitting in a coffee shop having a chat with someone who is about to launch a consumer products brand, be it in the pet space or not, and you've now got this year of experience and learned a lot of lessons and made some mistakes and lost some money, but overall, it made quite a bit of progress. What would be the top 3 pieces of advice that you would give them?
I think, first of all, know what your brand stands for and what the voice of your brand should be. Second, not spreading yourself too thin on all channels. Try some out and concentrate on 1 or 2 until you see success to then adapt new ones. And third, I believe keeping a really good relationship with your customers, like with content or with customer care, being available and being there to not be unreachable. That makes sense.
I couldn't agree more. I run a software business, as anyone listening to this show would know, Flowster. And, this whole idea of software is people come and they sign up and you don't have to talk to them and so forth. And we're not as young as your company, but we're still a very young company. And we put an inordinate amount of effort into manually reaching out to our new customers, to brands in particular that come and sign up to use our Amazon Seller Playbook, simply because we want them to have the very best experience possible. Plus, it gives us an opportunity to ask them, about their business and their problems and their challenges and what words and we pay very close attention to the words that they use to describe those challenges. And that insight from a marketer's perspective is incredibly valuable for us. So it's really, it's high labor. We got to do these things, but it's a win-win because it's better for our customer and it's better for us. And, maybe we won't do that forever, but for now it has absolutely been critical to our success. So
That's
Anya,
true.
I want to thank you very much for being on the show. I'm sure we have plenty of dog owners in the audience, and some of them may have hip and joint problems. So say the URL of your website for me one more time in case anybody wants to go and check out some of your products.
Yeah, so it's happybond.com. Very simple.
Wonderful.